topic together, our truth. Like we think. May I ask you, what does the word lie mean? Our true self is we think. What does that mean? Actually, this topic, you have talked about the topic very often, but the reason why I think Unit 9 will be of the most importance compared with the other 3 units for the final is because this is very important. Because in the second year of your senior high life, there is no life education course, no life planning course. You know that? In your first year, there was a course in which you could learn how to deal with your emotion, what your possible interests are. 生命规划. I mean, didn't you like your life education course very much? No. Really? But many people tell me you did a lot of like little games about who you are in your life education course now. I don't get it. Yeah. So like here in Unit 9, after we talked about the vocabulary, before we finish the vocabulary, there's a question I would like you to keep in mind. Are you a confident person? Are you a competent person? I mean, this is very important. Don't say that. Very important. I mean, now you are 17 years old, and soon you will turn 18, soon you will graduate from high school, and maybe soon you will live on your own. But do you think you are confident enough to face different kinds of challenges when your parents are not beside you? Think about it. Okay, anyway, so like here we need to start with the first word. It's very easy, it's like start. Here the word C after S, we don't pronounce, we don't send the air. So like we change the sound K into G. So maybe say once again like start. Easy, but here the word start means a mark left on your body after you got injured. But here if you, but if you use it as a verb, even you got hurt. But may I ask you, here the word start, if you use it as a verb, what could be the past tense of the word start? Do you double the ending letter? Scarred. Yeah, like before, preferred, scarred. You need to double the ending letter. Easy, so like here, scarred. But what about ing? Scarring. Like when you need to double the ending letter in the past tense, you also need to double the ending letter in the ing form. So it's like scarred, and scarring. Like preferred. You also need to double the ending letter. Yep. So before we move on, do you have any scar? Like on your face? Do you have any scar on your face? I mean, like, of course, like after so far, like you have lived a life of 16, 17 years. You have many scars all over your body, but do you have any scar on your face? I have a lot of scars on my face. But I guess I have a scar that is very unique, and I don't think that any one of you has a similar scar like mine. There is a scar right on my back. Yeah, I told you before. Yeah. I got bitten by my dog when I was 3 years old. Yeah. And also there was a scar on my left eye. Right on my left eye. No, when I used to wear glasses. And when I was a student, I was playing softball. You know softball? Not baseball. Baseball is the smaller one. Softball is the bigger one. Yeah, softball. And I was playing softball with my classmates. And when we were playing, throwing and catching, suddenly, when I was prepared to catch a ball from my friend, another friend of mine suddenly called my name. So it was like, I was preparing to catch the ball, and somebody said, "Hey, Allen." I said, "What?" And the ball. left eye, and I got seriously hurt. So like here, yeah, but I mean like be careful when you play sports, very important. So like here the first example, the firefighter what? If you like here, 背有下，你念一遍。Was I left $100, or my mom left $100 bill on my desk before I left for school this morning. 留钱给我. But here you say was left. Here you need a preposition. A star was left. Oh, sorry. Allen was left here. 一个介词 with a large scar. So here you say Allen got a scar when he was playing catching and throwing softball. You can say Allen was left with a large scar on his left eye after he got hurt by the softball. So like here, if you say somebody was left with scar, you mean the person got a scar. Easy? So like here, before we move on, could you please read the first example, the firefighter? Large scar on his right leg. Yeah, thank you. The second one here, may I ask you this? Just a quick review. You learned this in your elementary school, right? So like, how do you call that finger on your hand? This. You have 5 fingers on your palm. Don't you know the names of the fingers? You know the middle finger. Yeah, I know. Yeah. You know the little finger, the little pinky. But what about this? No idea. A word beginning with the letter I. Oh, thank you. Index finger. Yeah, I like that. Here, index means, in Chinese, you might say 索引. So you can say, I need an index of the book. Or you can say, I need an index number of the book. Reference, so 编码的意思 index number. Like here, index finger means the finger you use to point out something. The finger you use to point at something. You know what I mean? So 这地方是 index. Index means reference. Like your finger, the finger used to show and somebody else something. And here, his index finger was. Like here should be scarred after he cut it by accident. See? So like here, this word, very easy when you use it as a noun. It means a mark left on you. And when you use it as a verb, you mean somebody, you got hurt because of something. So I can move on to the second one here. This time, I made a little change to the vocabulary sheet. Easy change. Because I noticed that some of you, sometimes you are not sure how to read words in the right way. So I try to underline the part. Like this part should, did you notice anything special about this part underlined? Like JEC, this part should be the part with the stress. So like when you see a word and you know the stress is on this part, how should you say this word? Objective. It's okay, so like, I guess it's very important for you to know how to say the word right. Because if you can say the word right, you won't be afraid to say it. And if you can say a word right, you can memorize the word at the same time. Yeah, that's why I decided that I will try to speak English with you as much as possible. I mean, like, can we try to do this? I mean, when I speak English to you, you try to speak English with me? I mean, you can try to do it. I mean, like, but don't tell me that in the future, if I talk to you in English and you will walk away from me, pretending you don't know me. I mean, that's very important for you to try to use as much English as possible. Yeah. Soon you'll get used to it. Soon, yeah. Anyway, so like here's this word, objective. Thank you. The first example, in the sales force, when you talk about this, there could be 2 words you use. May I ask the person, Charlotte? What you mean you can like realize your goal? Here's a word that begins with the A. Achieve, thank you. And here there will be a second word that begins with the letter M. Easy word, Amy, Jali. So like any word that you could use for that word. I mean now, like, did Amy have a nickname so we could make Wei Wei? Oh, Wei Wei and Amy. So like when I call her, I would say Wei Wei. When I call her, I would say Amy. Would that make things clear? 车夫。Driver. Can she drive? I mean, she's lying to me. I cannot believe her. Anyway, Amy, like for little word. Meat, okay. It's financial. Here, objective. So here the word objective is similar to the word goal. But you might say, is there any difference between objective and goal? I ask you, is there any difference between objective and goal? G-O-A-L. Any difference? My goal is to become an interior designer because I'm interested in art. My objective right now is to make the most of my time. So like here, what could be the difference between objective and goal? 有不一样吗？ Goal 跟 objective. When you say my goal is to become a scientist, this would be the way you use the word goal. But if you say my objective is to maintain a healthy routine of my life, what could be the difference between objective and goal? Which one would be broader? Which one would be farther away from the time you are living right now? Goal. 通常 goal 在用的时候呢，是比较指的是未来的目标，而 objective 通常指的是比较具体的，你现在就做得到。所以说，我现在想做的事情就是每天都尽量不要太熬夜。Right? So I can say my objective right now would be not to stay up late too often. It's okay? So here, okay, first question for you. What would be the objective you would like to achieve the most before the end of the semester? Here, could you please ask your neighbor, what's your most important objective before the end of the semester? And here your answer should be, my most important objective before the end of the semester is to... Oh, okay, yeah. My objective is to... My objective is to... You need to tell us what your neighbor says to you later. You need to tell us what your neighbor says to you. Before the end of the semester. Did you ask her about this? Yeah. It is to... Cindy's objective before the end of the semester? No! How to dance timber. You mean timber is the song? Oh, okay. So you can say like Cindy's objective would be to dance, to learn the dance moves of the song timber. Yeah, to learn the dance moves of the song timber. Yeah. Julie! Where's Julie? Julie, did you ask Jean about what her objective would be? Her objective. Is to study hard. Yeah, a very practical objective. Senior, did you ask Xinyi about what her goal would be? Does Xinyi have a nickname that we could use? Does she have a nickname so far? But if I keep calling somebody like Xinyi, but I'll try to call you Melody. I was name. So Xinyi, did you ask her about what her objective would be? 不要放生什么？ 不要放生数学。Okay, yeah, you can say, yeah, her objective would be not to give up on math, or yeah, in Chinese might say 放生, but I would say 放生 would be a cute way for you to use in Chinese. Yeah. But if you say 把动物放生，把动物放生怎么讲 ？Set free, just set free. Yeah, set something free. A lot of people now often buy animals and set them free. Yeah, at the beach, which might not be a good thing to do. So when you say you set an animal free, in Chinese might say 放生 like that. You see, and here the second one, 你觉得 she can remain objective when judging her daughter's work. May I ask you here, if you use the word objective as an adjective, 形容词, what would it mean? She can remain objective when judging her daughter's work. May I ask you, Jane, any idea? Jane, who's Jane? Hi, Jane. Like here, she can remain objective. If you use it as an adjective, what would it mean? It's like when you talk about two boys, one of the boys is the one you like. You can remain objective to comment on two people when there is one of them is the one you like. So when you say you remain objective, what would you mean? Yeah, you're right. So like here, when you say you remain objective, if you use it as an adjective, you mean you remain fair to people. You avoid being. 另外一个词可以问一下吗？相对来说 S 开头的主观的 equal. Any idea? S 开头的 subjective. 主观的当形容词的话 subjective. So if you say she's a very subjective person, you mean she has very strong personal opinions. 或是你说什么事情 you can say judging art is a subjective task. 评断艺术是一个很主观的行为。So if you say somebody is subjective, the person has strong personal opinions. But if you say something is subjective, you mean it depends on your personal opinions. It's okay. So before we move on, please read the word once again. Objective. So let me ask you: are you an objective person? Are you an objective person? Jean. Oh, I asked Jean already. Ivy. Ivy, if you can pick the most objective person in our class, who would you pick to be the most objective person? Are you kidding me? Here, number 3, the stress on the second syllable. But here, 这个地方如果只有动词的话念 serve， 可是放在后面的话不是 serve 哦，念子的音，所以这版 observe。Here， 所以还是一样。She, the waitress served us pretty well. 她服务我们非常周到。可这地方放在后面会变子的音 observe. It's okay. And here anyway, so like here the noun of the word observation. So how do you spell the word observation? B-A-T-I-O-N. Yeah. So here observation. Remember we talked about the rule before. 这地方只要有省的音的时候，所有的重音都会移到前面一个音节。所以原本是 observe， 可是看到省的时候，重音移到 v 的上面，叫 observation。要会念哦，好不好？我觉得如果你在二段考完，我觉得不管考试，英文这段就是一定看到什么字都要想要怎么念，因为只要你会念，你就不会。只要你会念，你不会怕讲它。只要你会怕讲它的话，你在读的时候你就觉得比较自然。我觉得这是一个蛮重要的过程。因为对我来说，我觉得最近观察到大家，我觉得观察大家的做法就是有时候问你一个字的时候，你知道意思，可是我问你怎么念的时候，大家会迟疑很久。有的时候啦，所以我觉得听到字要会念以后，你就觉得比较不会对它那么的有距离。Yeah, okay. And here the first word, I observed. 这个地方呢，第一个用法 observe 就跟之前学过的一个字，注意到 n 开头的 notice 或是察觉到 spot 所以 observe 这个字呢，可以当观察某人，也可以当察觉到。可是察觉到意思一般说比较少见。Observe the boy putting his hand into the woman's purse in an 企图 A 开头的 attempt. So how do you spell the word attempt? A-T-T-E-M-P-T, yeah, attempt. So when you say she called me in an attempt to wake me up， 她打电话给我，把我叫起来。So do something in an attempt to 的话，这个地方就指企图怎么样？你see? And here's the second one. If you say the police are keeping the S-U-S-P-C， 怎么念呢？respect 会放在后面，可是这个字要放在前面，所以这版 suspect。Yeah, what is a suspect? A suspect is a possible criminal in a case not closed yet. 这个案件没有结案之前，可能的嫌疑犯。So like your suspect would be a possible criminal 嫌疑犯。So like if you say 密切观察，介词，在观察的话，一定是由上往下看，所以是在他们的监视之下。So under observation. Okay, so if you say you observe something closely, you keep it under observation. 那这个地方通常什么时候用？你说医生呢正密切的观察那个病人的状况，也是这样的用法。所以你可以说 the doctor is keeping the patient under observation， 就指的是他们正在密切观察他的健康状况 ，like that. It's okay. So here, could you please read the second example together? The police are keeping the suspect under observation. Yeah, thank you. Here number 4, this word 中间的第一个音节 physical. Yeah, so maybe it's given physical. Yeah, so when we talk about physical, it's about your body. Yeah, so here, but what about another word? Here, the first example, you may be here. We made a little change to the word physical. 这地方如果是副词的话 physically. But what about another word? Related to your mind, mentally. Yeah, thank you. Another word that you might think of would be psychologically. 那个字也是可以的。But here, 通常我们讲说心理上的话就 mental 就好。Psychological 比较指的是心理学上的，就跟学问比较有关系。But mental 指的是我现在心情上觉得愉快。I'm mentally relaxed right now. Means you are not nervous. It's okay. So like here, physically and mentally, 一倍的，一开头的，一个 exhaust. Remember? So like if you say exhausted, how do you spell the word exhausted? E-X-H-A-U-S-T-E-D, exhausted. Remember? So if you say, I'm exhausted after a long day. I'm super tired. So like here, I guess you know the word tired already. The next time, maybe you can try to use exhausted to mean like very tired or tired out. It's okay. So here, could you please read examples together? You may be physically and mentally exhausted after a long flight. When was the last time you felt physically and mentally tired? I guess now you are physically tired, but you are not mentally tired, right? Because like, what kind of hard tasks have you finished today? Oh, right. How was your math? But in addition to math, what other results did you get today? Math, what else? Oh, geography. See, I guess geography would be... Here, the second example. So you can say, I feel physically and mentally exhausted after knowing the results of my second. Anyway, so like here the second example, could you please read it? Here, who's it by referee? Yeah, referee. The first syllable. So here, maybe say it. The referee stepped in. The referee stepped in because the game started to get physical. So like here, did you ever hear the word referee? Referee. In a ball game, those people who run with the players, who blow the whistles, to tell us, yeah, here. When you say the referee, you mean the people who judge the game. 可是这不是 judge 哦 ，judge 是法官。But here, referee is the person who makes calls about any faults or any situations in a ball game. And here, if I tell you referee means those people who are responsible for judging the game, how would you translate when you say something gets physical? When you say a game gets physical, the players usually they get angry with each other. They might push against each other. They might like, oh, it was like when you play the basketball game last year. You played the basketball game last year, and when you play a basketball game with like the other girls, you tend to push, you tend to grab each other. So when you say the game got physical, got this. You like it? 这地方就只是就变得比较多有肢体上的接触，所以说比赛变得比较火爆是这个字。Another would be violent. So if you say the game turned violent and the players got angry. So like when you say things get physical, 就等于说把原本的身体上的引申为变成有肢体冲撞的 like that. Okay. So here like number 5, this word. When you see fact, like a fact, you might want to move the stress to the second syllable, but here you use it as a noun. 在第一个音节哦，所以 we say about defect. Thank you. So here you say defect. There could be many similar words like flaw, F-L-A-W, or road here, road.问题是，如果你指的是东西的瑕疵，要用哪个字呢？你说哦，我买的那件衣服上面有几个衣橱。We bought a closet, but there were some. 如果是瑕疵的话 ，defect, weakness, flaw. I guess flaw and weakness are the words you learned before. 但如果你是看到的瑕疵的话，一般来说你用的是 defect would be the first choice, and the second one would be flaw. And here, when you talk about 他的个性上面有一些可以改进的地方 ，defect, weakness, and flaw. Usually, we would use weakness, and then flaw, and then defect. 所以这地方如果是讲是比较具体的瑕疵的话，会是 defect。可是如果指的是比较抽象的话呢 ，weakness 最常用，但是呢 ，flaw 跟 defect 这两个字也可以用。所以简单来说，差别在于 defect 通常指的是东西的瑕疵。It's okay, so you can say there's a defect on the vase, 花瓶 after we took it home. So we now are considering taking it back to the shop. 把东西拿回去还。所以这地方 weakness, flaw 都指的是比较概念上的问题 ，but defect can mean both, like about your idea or about the thing itself. It's okay. So here, when we say words like weakness, flaw. Thank you. So if you say it's a character defect, meaning you mean about a person. 他个性上的一个介词 in her. So when you say it's a character defect in her that she can't accept that she's wrong. So like you see a character defect in somebody, 这个地方对于那个人用 in 哦。It's okay. And the second example, could you please say it? The spy defected from Britain to the Soviet Union. So here 这个地方注意一下，如果当动词的话呢，中间提到第一个音节变 defect。defect 跟fact 一样，可是这地方如果你看得出来 spy，you know spy? Yeah, like not James Bond. Do you know any spy? Do you know any spy in history? Spy. Anyway, yeah, spy 间谍。So here the spy defected from Britain to the Soviet Union. So like if you say defected from A to B, in Chinese you might mean betrayed. You know the word betray? B-E-T-R-A-Y. Betray means Yeah, you turn your back on somebody and you turn to support another person. So if you say defect from A to B, the meaning of the word defect is changed from the noun, means weakness, to a verb, means you turn your back on someone, you betray someone. It's okay? Yeah. So here the word defect here, if you use it as a verb, 中间的第二个音节 easy? Yeah. So here we move on to maybe the second example to get the spy defected from Britain to the Soviet Union. But now we don't call them Soviet Union anymore, we just call them Russia. Yeah, and here number 5, this was pretty easy on the second syllables and participant. Participant. I guess we learned the word already, so what's the verb? Winning. 动词是今年元 participant. Participant. Oh, you're right, participate. And then the noun of the word participate, participation. Easy. So here first example, we encourage students to 这三点简单，但是要辨别一些用法。所以第一个 we encourage students to 要用的应该是 and. The first word, participant, participate, or participation. We encourage students to, you're right, participate fully. Here, if you say you join an activity, you join. But the importance about the word participate, we need a preposition. So it's participate, 一个介词 take part in, participate in. So like here, if you use the word participate, there's always a preposition needed. 所以你说这个周末的校庆舞会会有10000个人来参加 There will be, I don't know, like how many people will show up usually? Did you have any record about how many people usually show up for this kind of party? Wow. So like if you have 3,000 people, that means like our school will be packed, will be filled. Oh, you're right. Okay. So like you can say, we estimated that, we estimated that there could be up to 3,000 people participating in our school party this coming Saturday night. Yeah. Is there anyone going to perform that day? Anybody? No. And Cindy. And will any one of you be like one of the staffers? Will anyone of you be the staffers? 工作人员 like Belle? Oh, okay. So like how many people will be like working this Saturday night? 2 of you? But how many of you will show up this Saturday night? Oh yeah, okay. I guess it's a difficult decision. But anyway, like here, second one. Some of the magic tricks call for audience here. Participant, participation, or participate. Participation. Here means audience participation means, for example, maybe there could be some magic tricks, and in the magic trick, the magician would invite one of the people sitting down the stage to come upstairs so that he could play a trick on the person. So like they say, call for audience participation, you mean needed the call participation from the audience, 就指的是观众的配合 like that. It's okay. And here the third example, he has been an active. Easy, you will be participant. So you can say, maybe you can say, many of you have been active participants on our honor guard or on our marching band since your freshman year. Yeah. Okay, so here, could you please read the first example together? We encourage students to participate fully in the running of the school. May I ask you, what does the word running mean? The running of the school. Running. The running of the school. Means the management of the school. 所以这里用的 running 是名词，指的是经营，学校的经营。知道黄所以说他花了很多心血在他的店铺的经营。She spends a lot of time and effort on the running of her shop. So here the word running means the word management. It's okay. Yeah. And here like number 7 is pretty easy to sticky. So here the word sticky just means something like glue or sticky rice. But here what about the verb? Just stick. But what about past tense? Stick, stuck. You see? So here the first example. If you say the nurse, the needle into my arm. If you use it as a verb, stuck the needle into my arm. But may I ask you, if you say you stick something into another thing, what does that mean? Stick something into another thing. When you eat when you eat, when you eat some kind of candy or when you eat sausage, you might use your chopstick to stick it into the sausage and you pick it up and you eat it. So when you stick something into another thing, you do this. You do this. Okay, stick something into another thing. And here's the second example, we use glue to stick the broken pieces together. Here the word stick doesn't mean you poke something into another thing. 这地方的第一个意思呢，像 poke， 大家应该知道吧？ Yeah， 就是戳一下咯。Yeah, maybe like in the past on Facebook, you poke a person. Yeah, so like here the first meaning of the word stick is like poke. So you can say the nurse poked the needle into my arm like that. But here the second example, stick the pieces together. You mean you try to glue them together. Yeah, stick them together, glue them together. But here, what about the third example? Could you please say it? He's always sticking his nose.
It's always sticking.
Yeah. So could you please read the third example together? He's always sticking his nose into other people's business. Yeah. So like here, when you do this, what do you mean when you say somebody always sticks his or her nose into your business? So it's like stick your nose means you try to do the. So like when you do this. What do you mean? I mean, like when you were little, sometimes some stupid boys, when you were talking, and they would, what are you talking about? And they would like come near you, and you would tell them to go away. Like this, stick your nose into someone else's business. So like here, when you say somebody who does this doesn't mean something good, but it means something negative. So you can say, we should try to avoid sticking our noses into other people's business because it's a sign of respect, like that. Okay, so here, could you please say once again, he's always sticking his nose into?
It's always sticking his nose into other people's business.
Yeah, thank you. Another English word is very easy. It's like clinic. Clinic. I guess clinic is a very easy word. It means a hospital not owned by the city, but owned by a doctor, like a private hospital, a clinic. But here, what does this mean? Could you please say this example, Dr. Clark?
Dr. Clark
holds a clinic on Tuesday mornings. When you 这个地方你第一次看到的时候，你不会觉得说哦 hold a clinic， yeah， 可能指的是他开一个诊所。But if you say on Tuesday mornings, you mean yeah means the doctor has time for you to see him or her. 所以如果你说那请问那个医生什么时候会有看诊呢 ？When does the doctor hold his clinic？ 就指的是他的时间什么时候是可以去的呢 ？When does she hold the clinic? So you can say she always holds a clinic on Saturdays. 她只有在礼拜天有看诊 like that. 所以这地方的 hold 呢，原来是维持在开放诊所的状态，这样想象 like that. It's okay. Yeah. And here another now is very easy. It's on P. P. Here for the word P, the changes are regular. P. P. 所以直接加 ed 是规则变化。So like here the word P, if you use it as a verb, we call her peeping here. The reason why I chose the example for you is that 如果你说不要再偷看那个男的了，这个地方不是 peeping 哦，因为 peep 这个字通常你语义上你会只偷看，所以说I try to peep at the boy in the primary school because he looks so cute. 这地方peep 一般来说指的是会透过一个东西看，所以在用的时候呢，就通常指的是 yeah, when you say you can say when it is very late at night, your parents might peep at what you are doing through the slit of your door. 从那个门缝看一下你在干嘛。所以通常 peep 这个字在用的时候，只是
玩手机，
If you say somebody who doesn't want to disturb you, you can say peep through something. Yeah, like here if you use the word peep, 指的是透过什么东西看，所以不会只是偷看 like that. But here the second example, we read that the film gives us a peep. Peep behind the curtain at a Broadway musical. So here what does that mean? Gives you a peep at something. What does that mean? You can say The lecture 那个演讲 the lecture gave us a peek at how scientists did their research in the old times. 那个演讲让我们知道以前的人做研究是怎么样用。So if you say something gave you a peek at another thing, in Chinese you might say gives you a chance to learn it. So like here 这个地方可能就跟中文的意思比较像，所以可以 say 那个别人让我知道说什么什么东西的特别。So you can say the program gave us a peek at how ancient people made paper or how blah blah blah. So when you say you learned something special about another thing, this is something gave you a peek at it. It's okay? Yeah. So before we move on, could you please read it once again? The film gives a peek. Behind a curtain at a Broadway musical. Yeah, thank you. And here number 9, this will be the last word. Here, can you say the word, the stress on the second syllable? We say assumption. Yeah, once again, assumption. Thank you. But here the word assumption, the verb, is very different from the noun. So if you say assumption, the verb would be a what? Here, A-S-U-M-E. We might say assume. Assume. 这个地方呢sometimes you might hear people say assume, but now I get assume. Yeah, it was kind of weird. So now we only use the word assume. Assume. So like you hear me say once again about assume. Thank you. So here the first example, it was impossible to about people's reactions. When you say this, you might just try to guess, right? But here, what about assumption? A verb that goes with the word assumption, like mistake, like yeah, make assumptions about blah, blah, blah. So you can say it's hard to make assumptions about what she might think after she gets the present. So if you say make assumptions, you mean try to predict. So you can say it's impossible to predict people's reactions, make assumptions about it. It's okay? And the second example, I had assumed him to be. 所以这个地方就跟常常说，我以前认为你是这样。I used to think of you as， 或是那个从你讲的 view you as， 其实比较常用的 assume you to。So you can say I assumed her to be innocent, but it turned out that she was actually guilty. 我原本以为她是无罪的，可是证明说她有做那件事情。It's okay. So here before we move on, could you please read the first example once again? It was impossible to.
It was impossible
To make assumptions about people's reactions. Yeah. Okay. So like here, this would be the first part of the vocabulary.